Okay.
Mr. Faizal, C. Joosab, and
Miss
Mm.
Bajus.
no, man, that didn't fit in. Let's start again.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Miss Bajus.
love it. Absolute
We
pleasure.
loving your energy too.
Jazakallah khair. Absolute pleasure having you join us
Thank you so
here
much for
on the
having us.
show. And I must say, I was mind blown by the fact that you two are so calm, yet you have been in this industry for more than 20 years,
Alhamdulillah.
dealing with anxiety related issues on a daily basis. How do you remain calm when you're dealing with anxiety?
Two things.
Hmm.
Spirituality has to be there.
Okay.
Everything is taqdeer, and you have to look it from a celestial point of view. You have to train yourself to understand that all you're going to do is be the needle. But Allah is the one that injects
Hmm.
that kind of shifa into a person.
Hmm.
Second thing is coping mechanisms. And there I have to be, again, spiritual about it because Allah has blessed me with an amazing, amazing, amazing partner.
MashaAllah.
She just takes away all my stress. When she smiles, it just like falls off me.
Ah.
Then he blessed me even further. He gave me two amazing, amazing kids that behave like monkeys, but
It's fine.
I
We can handle
can't.
it.
Yeah, I just look at them and I just behave like a monkey with them. So going into the inner child
Hmm.
has made me cope all these years. Otherwise, recently, I mean, just a few days back, I met a friend of mine and he says, you know what, you're not looking very normal. What's happening? You're taking on too much of problems. I said, yeah, the workload has gotten very heavy. Alhamdulillah. But I didn't see my kids for that morning. That's why. So it's like they're my antidotes.
Oh, okay. MashaAllah. That's so beautiful because I've always wanted to know, does a person who counsel or a therapist, for example, do they need therapy?
Yes. You need a supervisor.
Okay.
You need somebody to go to and say, listen, did I do the right thing? Did I do the wrong thing? Did I do this, do that? Initially, you have a lot of self doubt because you have to make a lot of decisions. A diagnosis is not an easy thing. It's an opinion based on what you know, on your expertise. So if a person comes in and says, listen, do you think I should be on medication? You have to do an assessment that's going to bring them into the light. And maybe they're over medicating, maybe they're under medicating, but you have to look at the situation. Now, we relationship experts, so we mainly focus on that. But anxiety is a part of relationship issues because a man comes home, he's sitting on his phone, he's got stress. Then she says, you're not talking to me. Why are you not talking to me? You're always on your phone. And he says, why don't you leave me alone? And then they start fighting. Why did ball out? Because he didn't tell her, today my boss said to me, you're getting short time, or you know what, I'm going to cut your wages, you're not getting the promotion. And he's starting to worry now. So we deal with this on a daily basis because why people get divorced is because they fight. And why do people fight? Is when they stress. And so as soon as I get my back up against the wall, if something irritated me, I realize same time, you know what, I'm stressed out. Breathe. And then talk. Don't argue.
What helps is a positive mindset.
Yeah.
Wow.
Positive mindset about your life.
That's where the spirituality comes.
Yeah.
Because
MashaAllah.
you have to connect with Allah. If you're not going to connect with Allah, you're not going to make it. You're going to end up on medication like everybody else. And medication is for the symptoms. It's not a cure. When you go to a psychiatrist, he says, take this for anxiety. Take this for your worry. Take the sedative to sleep at night. But how long are you going to be on it? You're going to turn into a cabbage after 6, 8, 10 years. And if you're not coping after 6 months, you need to find a cure. And you have to ask questions. Now, I love what you said about the passion part.
Yeah.
Now, when you're passionate about something, you have to have worry and stress because it's important to you.
It's important to you, exactly.
So for what you said, I think it was brilliant because you have to follow your heart. If you want to be happy, you have to do something that Allah has blessed you with. So my entire family is in business, except for two of us. One amazing cousin of mine, he's a lawyer. He's an amazing human being. I think he has the heart and the brain of a Superman because he's just amazing. He's just brilliant. And myself, who also didn't follow that path. But we found our calling, right? But you have to love what you do. You'll be good at it. And then obviously, Gen Z said the bag. Where we came from, it was show me the moolah. Show me the money.
That's the driving force. Now, speaking about money, we all want to do what we love, like you said. You know, we want to work. And as much as we want to do it for passion, at the end of the day, it has to pay us something, right? So here you are, the mullah is there, but the stress, the workload kicks in, and you find yourself that not only are you now experiencing a burnout, you're also surrounded with individuals or colleagues that you cannot rely on because it's a toxic work environment. How does one survive in that setting? And how does work environment that is toxic affect one's productivity?
Firstly, a toxic environment is a test from Allah. And you're going to be in a situation where your mettle, your character is going to be tested. So, Bisbah, what do you think? I mean, like the
What
toxic
Allah
environment.
has sent us, and He has made a system where we go and we earn. And for that reason, we're going to have issues in making whatever risk that has been written for us. But if we're going to go to workplace, there will be some issues. I don't think so there's anybody who will say, okay, I made like you yourself.
100% perfect or
Yeah,
peace
it was
or
perfect. Yeah. So we're gonna have to have some issues. We need to have this mindset. We can't have entitlement that today I'm going to go and everybody is going to work according to me.
to my rules,
To
my way or the
rules,
highway.
My way or the highway. No, it's not going to work. So first you need to have this perception, not to let the negativity set into you, but at the same time, you need to allow yourself to understand that, you know what, when I'm going to go today, things might not happen
the way
as
I
we
want.
decided. So you're not very frustrated. The mental, as I said, how your mindset is. Mindset about the
So,
situation.
if I can take a leaf out of your book, right? Now, again, we're drifting back to relationships. Isn't woman very well equipped for that? You get married into families you don't know, and obviously there's going to be some hostility. Oh, he's my brother. Before he became
That
your
is
husband.
sometimes more toxic than
But
the work
how you're
environment.
The work environment.
So y'all are practically
And women are
groomed.
working there.
You're practically groomed for it.
Yes.
I mean, y'all know exactly how to survive in a toxic environment because your husband loves you and your mother-in-law has reservations because you don't feed him well. But look, you've come with your own recipes and he needs to adapt. You don't adapt, you don't succeed. So now you want to give him pasta and mommy always gave him curry and rice, right? It doesn't work like that. But y'all know how to survive. So I believe us men, if we make mashwara with our wives, with the ladies, and this was the sunnah of Rasulullah, we learn how to survive. Like let's say a man came home and said, you know what, my colleague is driving me insane. He talks the whole day. He's like, he's like a worm in my head. Then she'll say, yeah, but now you must understand now. He's got problems. He's like this and that. She'll calm you down. Now, as far as the toxic environment is concerned, you have to ask yourself how badly you need the job. And today, nowadays, we need the job. So you have to now say, I'm going in, I'm going to punch my card for 8 hours, and I'm going to come out and leave that acid and whatever that is there at work. When I come home, I'm going to smile and I'm going to take a shower and wash all that toxicity off me, and I'm going to be with my wife. That's why the first thing I think every man should do is when he comes home, he should hug his spouse. He should hug his wife and say, you know what? I'm safe.
I'm safe now. I had a long day, but I'm just going to add something there to what you mentioned. The hug is really therapeutic. They say more than 15 seconds. But how often or how long is one going to ignore the toxicity that they are facing simply because they choose the peace over what is happening? I know I came across a thing called is it fake positivity or negative positivity, something like that. I forgot the terminology for it, the correct terminology for it, but it's like every time you go through something, you fail to express or channel your emotions by saying, oh, it could have been worse. You just ignore it.
No, that's actually an Islamic fundamental where we start being positive. Now in the Quran, Allah Pak says, be grateful unto me and I will increase. So what we do is, it could have been much worse. I mean, my boss could have shouted me for 15 minutes. He just embarrassed me for 5 minutes. And never mind, he had a bad day. When you make sabr and you pull through. So as Muslims, this is what we did. Remember, Rasulullah spent 13 years in Makkah. And he was exposed to the worst kind of cruelty. So yeah, we have to be strong and say, listen, there's a test from Allah Pak. Look, it's not so bad. What if I didn't have a job? This is a good coping mechanism. Now, it might be fake positivity, but you will be rewarded for it because you know what? Your boss is going to, sometimes, in fact, a lot of the times, the bosses do check if you can handle the metal.
Oh, so they put us through it purposely.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Now, currently, I think our manager, he's a very hands-on man and he's a very nice, very accommodating person, Kelly, right? But we've had managers in the past, and you weren't around that time, where they would push and to see if you crack. Because they need to know if you are dependable. They know if they can count on you. And we never cracked. If they needed us at 10 o'clock at night to do a show, Mispa and me in Ramadan were here at 10 o'clock and we finished to 1:30 in Ramadan. So that's what that time, I'm just talking about this environment, right? Where they saw that, so sometimes the bosses push the toxic environment, but you know what? You're never going to know how strong you are until
You challenge yourself.
Exactly. You never know how strong a stick is until you try to break it. So there has to be a temperance as well, because sometimes it's abuse. Now, here, what you're talking is not toxic. You're talking about plain down where a person now is venting on your boss comes, he had a problem with his wife and he's swearing you in the office. Now, that's not condonable. Now, if he says, listen, I'm not happy with your performance, you like this, you like that, and everybody starts laughing at you because why you caught it from the boss, that's fine. You can review it with him later. But if he is venting on you, then that's not toxic, that's abusive. And then you need now to speak to somebody else in HR. You need to say, listen, I know he's my superior, but can you please have a word with him? Because what was on was verbal abuse.
Yeah.
Because as Muslims, we're also supposed to stand up to when we are oppressed.
Yes.
Because tolerating zulm is not on. Now, what I'm saying is, I don't say swear him back and all of that. Please don't. But we have to stand up to zulm in a sense where we have to tell him, see, you're losing yourself. Yeah. You're bringing your anxiety, because see, anxiety comes from home as well. Now, let's say now the home environment is not good, and then we can write the book on that. So you bring your stress. So we take our work stress home, we bring our work stress to, so it works vice versa. So he comes now and he's made this place toxic. Why won't a person enjoy work? He gets away from his wife. He doesn't have to listen to her complaining. Now, this is men talking now. That's not me talking. This is men talking. He should be so happy at work with his friends, buying them lunch, enjoying lunch with them, enjoying. For 8 hours, he's away, but he sits there brooding and upset. He brought his work stress because he can't wait now to go home. And if she phones him, what you phoning me for? Huh? I don't want to talk to you. So, unfortunately, we do bring a lot of toxicity in our work environment as well. It's not so simple as where the boss, the colleague, the superior only picks on us, or everybody's arguing and fighting, like, it's like they're going to snatch each other's risk away. But it's something we also bring. And I think we have to start with ourselves. I don't know, Kelly, what you think?
So we should be holding ourselves accountable?
I think so.
Also, a lot of toxicity in the environment in your workplace comes with competition as well. Maybe you making more money than me. That's a mindset.
Jealousy.
Yeah. Or maybe you came in within 3 months and you're getting a promotion because of how good you are in work.
I mean, I would question that too, to be honest.
So we need to talk about hadiths, Some people are more handsome than us. We wish you were like him.
I see a message here that says, Assalamu alaikum, Kelly, can you please advise on my situation? My pressure, sugar, and cholesterol is my health issue. Now that I check my pressure, it's slightly high, then I get panicky and it goes more high. So, and then everything else goes high. How can I control this type due to my anxiety?
Exercise. It's a sunnah. Rasulullah Pak has told us that, we need to walk briskly. And it is a proven fact that if you walk for 20 minutes, you will actually give your body the therapy, the medication that it desperately needs. So currently, whatever medication you're on, don't increase the dosage. Start relaxing yourself, because it's a fact. If you exercise, right, you go for a walk or just do some stretches, naturally dopamine will set into your system, serotonin, oxytocin. These are very important things to relax your mind. Get your mind off things. You'll be amazed how you'll stop stressing about why he's fighting with me and why my children don't listen to me. You'll just start relaxing. So your pressure will decrease, your sugar will normalize, your medication will actually start working. So to counter stress and anxiety, the one proven way to control the symptoms is exercise.
A lot of work environment demands a lot of people to sit, hold 9 to 5 maybe. They're sitting, and that's sometimes as unhealthy. It can affect your physical health.
Because that's the amazing thing nowadays. I mean, Kelly, mashallah, you brought a very important topic forward, because people don't talk about this. We have gyms. People go to gym and work out, and they feel like $1 million when they come out, right? And I see the guys at Atrium and all, when they come out from Discovery, they're feeling good and they're smiling when they're getting in the elevator. And I'm looking at them and saying, yeah, one day I'll get there.
What's stopping you though?
You look buffed. I have a family, dear.
Oh wow,
Okay.
they have families too. But
I have muscles on my hands because of my hands-on dad.
The message says Jazakallah khair so much. I have to ask you this question, because that's the topic that we have today. But I see that time is not on our side. Maybe we'll continue with this topic some other time. You up for it?
I'm up for it.
Okay, perfect. Now, for one that is struggling with mental illness, they're probably going through anxiety or depression or whatever it is, but they're going through the most, okay? And they their family rather, relies on them for this income or this job that they have. But now you have to prioritize your mental health, because this is your first priority. This is the reason why you are here, providing for your family. But at the same time, you need this job. What is one to do?
For people with mental health conditions, a decent work can contribute to recovery, inclusion, and improve their confidence and self functioning. It means if their work environment, we talk about only work and career, that environment is something that you're not very affected by, and they have mental health, I think they can cope.
Yeah, it'll release a lot of the pressure. But essentially, they have to utilize their medical aid, and they have to get to the GP. They have to get it, because when we ignore the problem, it's only going to get worse. You have a mental health issue. Your medication might not be helping, might need to be upgraded, might dosage need to be interviewed. You have to go see the professionals, and you have to seek out counseling. I mean, if counseling is in the Quran, Surah Asr speaks about counseling, and counsel one another towards truth and perseverance. You have to go out there and find. Unfortunately, our families don't have that skill set anymore where they can say, don't worry, it'll be fine. Why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? Everybody says, oh, you're acting like a baby. Stop acting like a child. You're a grown up now. Act like a man. Come on, I brought you up. So
I
they
think
have
the
to reach
person
out.
comes home with their husband or wife, and they come home and they say, okay, I have that stress, and I don't think so. I want to work. Whether it's parents at home, or whether it's siblings, or whether it's your spouse, they get worried that if this person is not going to work, how
How are we
going
going to
to pay the
survive?
bills?
Yes.
Yeah.
How are we going to live? Because the
It's a lot
cost
of
of living
pressure.
is very
And that
high.
is not the help that the person was looking for that moment.
Yes, they wanted to be, heard or feel seen at that moment. Like, it's okay, whatever you're going
And
through, we'll
sometimes,
survive.
in some cases, it does work out. And if you're not happy with your work situation and you start your own business, it takes time,
It takes time to
but
pick
it
up.
works out.
I have a friend like that. His name is Ahmad. He used to do a very pressurized job. He used to
We're not
sell.
supposed to be mentioning names.
He's fine.
He'll be very happy.
If you mention his surname or
No,
his nickname.
we're not talking about his work, his work company.
So he used to do a very pressurized job.
Yeah.
And he was always sweating all the time because he used to sell something. I won't say what, right? But he used to sell something. He used to go shop to shop. Then his wife discovered home industry, and she was excellent at biscuit making and all of that. And he left.
Oh, very nice sweets.
Yeah, and he left what he was doing and he joined her, and her business multiplied tenfold.
MashaAllah, wow.
So when he joined his wife, so now when I see him, he's not sweating, he's stressed out because she's going to phone him and scold him. So he's replaced a different stress.
A different boss. But speaking about workload and stress, I know somebody who is doing quite incredible work in the community, and this is something that they're passionate about, but this passion has somehow overpowered this person to a point where they lost hair. They are now losing teeth. Okay. And they got the first tooth removed, the second tooth removed. The doctor said, oh, hold on. What is going on in your gums and all that stuff is not normal. And this is due to extreme amount of stress. And I wanted us to touch on that, but I think time is not on our side. Can sometimes our passion also be our downfall?
Yes, because we don't know how to balance it. Look, I'm also a victim of that because I started this work almost 2 decades back thinking I want to save the world. It's wrong.
Yeah.
Allah is responsible for everybody. I just have to do my part.
Yeah.
But there has to be a balance. Even this morning, I was speaking to my son and I said to him, do you miss me? He says, yeah, Dad, you work very hard. And trust me, I'm working half of what I used to work. But still, there's room for improvement. So I think self-care has to be where if we're going to fall down, then there's thousands of people relying upon me. So this person has to now balance it out and take care of himself, because must remember, you can do your best if you feel the best.
If you feel the best. That is profound. Very, very powerful words you just said there. Now, quickly, for those that are managers, supervisors, managing directors, chairperson, all the upper management listening right now, and they're thinking, okay, what do we do as an organization?
Employ a counselor. Please get somebody in-house.
Yeah.
So when you see somebody who's sitting at their desk and moping, you walk over and say, listen, what's up? Assalamu alaikum. How are you? You're right. Yeah, boss, I'm okay. Got something on your mind? And they say, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. So listen, my door is open, but listen, let me get the guy to talk to you.
Yeah.
And let's just see what we can see. Don't worry, it's all confidential. Nobody will know about it. The in-house counselor is there. You go and see him for a few minutes and tell him, listen, you know what, I had a big spat with my wife this morning. Oh, you know what, I'm running short of cash. I didn't pay the school fees. Something just might be eating. Why this is necessary? Because productivity. You want barakah in your business. The most important commodity is human beings. Allah Pak loves us. Why? We are human. Now, here, if your person picks up the phone and needs to sell the car, he needs to feel like $1,000,000 because he's going to convince that he's going to put money in your pocket.
Yeah.
Please do some investment in that because we're not coping
Mm.
and we need coping mechanisms. So, guys out there, please get some professional help to help you in managing the most important commodity in your business, your staff.
Wow.
I don't think so. Right now we have time, but there are a lot of factors
Mm.
that leads to risk to mental health at work.
Mm.
And that has to be
Addressed as well.
Yeah. So,
So these guys need to come to the party because it's not about making money. It's about making sure you make money.
Mm.
So keep the vibe strong. And remember, it's not how much you have, it's quality, not quantity. There needs to be barakah. My boss always is there for me. It's not about lending him money. Caring and having empathy for him. Listen, what's happening with you? Come, let me go take you here. Listen, talk to him, sort something out here. They'll give him coping mechanisms to calm things down, and you'll see your company, they won't leave you. They'll want to stay with you because he's like a father figure to me. Where do you get people saying that anymore? That my boss is like a father figure. Those days are gone now.
Those days are gone. And
like to show moral support.
Absolutely. And you wrapped it up very nicely. Your staff are your biggest investment, your assets. So invest in them. If you can, get a therapy, get a counselor or somebody in-house to deal with those issues. Because sometimes they might lie to you because you're the boss. They're scared. They don't want to upset you.
I won't lie. A lot of bosses have sent their clients my way. I remember the first person, maybe like 15 years ago, was actually Sony. Sony sent one of their clients. He was a Swedish guy, but he was so close to one of his staff members. He actually sent her.
Wow.
He sent her.
So there you have it.
If about to get retired.
If you're looking for somebody to speak to, we've got you. We've got you right here. And that's the show coming up next. So you can definitely speak to us about the issues that affect you most and affect your productivity.